Welcome back to Hoffman Tactical. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Orca version 5.3B handguard. So if you're familiar with the original Orca release, the handguard for that did not have a Picatinny rail on it. It did not have M-lock slots. It was just a basic handguard with texture to grip with your hand and to guard your hand. I wanted something that had more options for accessories, and that is why after releasing the Orca, I designed and released the version 5.3B handguard, which you see right here. So I had a few goals when doing this. The main one was to give a spot on the handguard to mount a light to, a weapons light. That was kind of the number one goal. Number two, I wanted to mount a bipod, but just for myself, for doing accuracy testing, it is so much nicer just having a bipod on there ready to shoot from rather than trying to shoot from bags and such. I like bipods, so I wanted a bipod on there. That was another goal. And along with the weapons light, I wanted a place to put a tape switch. And then optionally, if you want to put a laser or something up front, that's always an option. I don't think the handguard being a flexible plastic is going to be a very good option on the Orca 4 laser, but hey, I wanted the option there just in case someone wanted to try it. One of the other things I kind of wanted to do was put an option for an iron sight up front. If you want to put an iron sight on like a Picatinny rail up front, that is not really an option for reasons we will discuss here in a second. That was one of the compromises I had to make. But those were kind of overall the goals of the handguard. So I think we should just go over this handguard starting right back here, work our way forward, talk about the different features on it and why I added them. So obviously the one feature here that we did have on the first handguard is the sling QD attachment point here on both the right side and the left side, and that is just a QD point for attaching a sling swivel to. That was the one feature which I didn't mention, which was on the original Orca handguard, and I think that is very important. It's a great place to attach it to. They work really well, so I put those on there. And then we have vent holes kind of lining up with that. We have vent holes along the bottom, both sides, to get us a little bit of airflow inside. I honestly don't know how much vent holes really help with a handguard because your flow weights are very low without forced cooling or something, but hey, I mean, they don't really hurt anything structurally, so they kind of give it a balanced look, and I think they probably help with cooling a little. I don't know, haven't done testing with it. But moving forward from there, we have the Picatinny rail up on top, and you'll notice a very distinctive thing. This is one reason I'm doing this video, is to discuss this rail, because I think it has confused some people. The rail has a angled surface on the top of it, kind of slopes down, and then the last bit of it is straight and like you would expect it to be, and there's a little mark right here that distinguishes between the angled area and the flat area. So the angled area, people don't understand why I have that there. I think it has no purpose. The reason for that was to add a tape switch. The purpose of this rail is for a tape switch. As I said before, I wanted the option for a laser. That's why there's a straight section of rail up here, but it wasn't super important. I added that just in case you want it. But the main purpose of the rail was to add a tape switch. If I wanted to make this rail horizontal, it would have to be much, much higher up front because it can't be any lower in the back here due to geometry and the gas tube being in the way. So that would reduce ergonomics. This here gets your tape switch as low as possible, lets you get your thumb on top, and is actually quite ergonomic. So that was the reason that's angled. I'm trying to get it as low as possible for that tape switch up on top, which was the goal behind that rail, because tape switches are designed to pop onto rails. So that's the story behind that. Now, the thing here, some of you guys may be noticing, is that this front rail is going to be lower than the main rail on the Orca upper receiver, and that is the case here. The main rail on the Orca is 1/4 inch higher than the little rail up front here. Because of that, it's difficult to use iron sights. So any iron sights you use, system, like if you put a flip-up sight in the back here on your main Orca upper, and then you put a fixed sight up here or flip-up sight up here, this sight is going to have to be raised up 1/4 inch. I didn't add any provisions to do that. It was not really in the plan. It was one of the things I eliminated, trying to get better ergonomics for the tape switch. I did have a version where I lifted this rail up 1/4 inch. It looked really dumb, and if you do want to use a laser, it makes it very much less practical because it interferes with the optic up front. So I decided to drop it down like this, give more option for laser, less option for fixed iron sight if you want to play with that kind of thing. But just keep in mind, the main purpose of this rail is for a tape switch. So that is the rail. Looking at down here, you'll see we have right here and here on both sides, I have these interesting little ports right here. They're little flat spots with 2 openings. What that is an internal track that allows you to put a zip tie. It's curved, allows you to put a zip tie through it and zip tie the wires of your tape switch to make them meet, because we don't have all of the cuts we have on a conventional extruded machined aluminum M-lock free-floating rail or key mod, whatever you want. We have to add these little things here. We don't have to, but I decided to give an option to zip tie the wires down for your tape switch to make it nice and neat. So those actually work quite well. I added those on there. And then moving up further forward, we have the M-lock, And we have two different M-LOK bars here. We have two right here on each side, and we have two on the bottom, and that gives the option to add a Picatinny rail or direct M-LOK accessories. You can put lights on it. You can put a bipod on the bottom. You can put really anything you want. It's just two M-LOK accessory spots. I looked at different accessories, different rail lengths, and I decided that 2 slots was enough for the vast majority of accessories, really all accessories that you want to attach to a handguard like this. 2 slots gives you everything you need, and it's up front, so that is what I did for the M-LOK. Internally, there are pockets cut. You probably can't see them here. I can show you with some cutaways. Internally, there's pockets cut to give the appropriate clearance and thickness. I've made the plastic absolutely as thick as I can. I think it's 1/8 of an inch, but I wouldn't swear to that. But I got the specs. I made the plastic absolutely as thick as I can to make it as strong as possible. That still functions with M-LOK, but it's naturally thinner than I like it to be inside, so we had to cut pockets out. But it actually works quite well. So that is the M-LOK slots, and then other than that, it's just the vent holes and the texture, which gives us our completed handguard. So that is the version 5.3B handguard. It is in a separate release from the main Orca files, so if you want it, it is not hard to find. You can find it out on my OddC account, and I would recommend you guys check that out. It is pretty cool. I am using it on all of my Orca builds now because why not? And the one thing to keep in mind here that I didn't mention is that this is the longer length of handguard, so it is designed to cover a mid-length gas tube. That's the length I went with just because the carbine length one is way too short to add any of these accessories to, really. But this will work with carbine length as well as pistol length gas tubes. It's just shorter. It won't cover a rifle length gas block, but with an Orca, I just don't see a reason you'd want to use a rifle length gas system with a long barrel. It's a light carbine, not a precision rifle. If you want to, you can always do it. Just have your gas tube will be exposed, big deal. But that is the mid-length handguard right there, which we added all the accessories to. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just to help show you guys what this handguard is, why I designed it, the different design features on it. It is now available. It has been available for some time. I wanted to just try to explain the different features and why I did certain things to remove any confusion there may have been about the sloped rail or anything like that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you again next time.